want you to get with CJ when you can.
Sure, why?
A lab in the UK is going to let us know in 72 hours if the first U.S. case of mad cow is in Nebraska right now. We got a presumptive positive on,
72 hours?
Yeah.
We should keep it to ourselves.
That's what I think. CJ disagrees, and the president wants to hear more.
Okay.
Thanks.
So paint a picture for me, would you?
We find the source of the problem, which will be the feed. We buy the cattle and slaughter them.
How many?
Tens of thousands.
That's the live cattle. What about the beef?
Well, FSIS will do a Class 1 recall and get it off the shelves. Not that they need to. Nobody's going to buy beef for a couple of years.
It's a $150 billion industry. What's the West going to do for a living?
Well, this generation of ranchers is done. They won't get back on their feet.
People have known about this disease. They're still eating beef in record numbers.
That's because it's been on the other side of the ocean. Once we announce a positive, steakhouses are done. Fast food is done.
And then the corn and soybean growers, right?
The dominoes don't end on this.
Any good news?
For fishermen.
So we've got frightened parents, rising food prices, public panic, massive layoffs, and something we've never worried about before. We're wondering when the next case is going to happen. You really want to talk about the lawsuit in Colorado?
Yes, sir.
You hear about the lawyer who opened a chain of dry cleaners? Press your lawsuit while you wait. There was a better joke in there someplace, right?
Probably not. Sir?
Doctrine of sovereign immunity. You can't sue the king. We brought it over from England.
Yeah, but he's not immune from the court of public opinion.
Forgot to bring that one over.
The RNC will have a press conference.
The RNC has a press conference when I sneeze.
I think we need to come out for a strong national seatbelt law.
Congress won't pass it.
I'm not saying we need to have the law. I'm just saying we need to come out for it. It'll end the question of where you stand.
People know where I stand. If they don't know, they can ask me.
You were governor of New Hampshire, sir.
And I was for it then. Never did anything about it because nobody wanted it. And frankly, why waste time in capital?
CJ will get asked about it at the 5 o'clock briefing.
I can't be responsible every time somebody irrationally twists my meaning. People are responsible for themselves. Today's cars are safer than they've ever been. They've all got airbags, they've all got seat belts, and they're all crash tested from here to Tuesday. All that's left is personal behavior and bad luck, and I'm not responsible for either one. And Sam, if Mrs. Lanningham was here right now, she'd say the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I don't blame this woman for suing me. I'm not a king, and I'm not sure the law should treat me like one, though certainly for the moment I don't mind. I'm not blaming her. She's got to go someplace with her grief and her anger. The ones who should be horsewhipped with a horsewhip are the ones exploiting her grief for political gain, and I'm not getting down with those guys.
Yes, sir.
Let Congress pass that law. I'll sign it.
Sir.
Yeah, let's go. Get Leo.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Isn't there a joke to be had with lawsuits and dry cleaners? I've been working on it all day.
You've been working on other stuff, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay, what do we think? When do you tell the public what you know?
I think it's right now.
And I think it's when you know something. I think absolute confirmation has to be the rule when we're talking about public panic.
Are we sure there's going to be public panic if we're only saying there's a chance? We think maybe, usually it's negative.
I do. Because we're not talking about sushi, it's hamburgers. And I'm not kidding around. It's these things, the everyday things, the everyday American things, the 99-cent things, that when you suddenly have to be afraid of them, strike at the center of our equilibrium.
I'll tell you what else. Democrats, not exactly loved by the beef industry to begin with, are going to get killed for causing false panic.
Yeah, what we say now is going to be measured against the facts, the consequences of which will be far worse if we don't say anything and it goes the other way.
I disagree.
Then pretend for a moment the cow has MS.
No, I don't think I will.
Something going on with them?
I think they can hear you. They're standing right in front of you.
That was a bad analogy. I apologize. What I meant was that the public will not forgive a president who withheld information that could have helped them or saved lives. Second, in a crisis, people need to feel like soldiers, not victims. Third, information breeds confidence. Silence breeds fear. That's my argument.
If it comes from the president.
It shouldn't come from the president.
They shouldn't even come from the White House.
It should come from Health and Human Services.
Not the secretary, mid-level.
All right, that's what we'll do then.